Guys, what is up? I thought I'd do something a little bit weird and different for you guys today, but something that I just don't think gets talked about enough in Blu-ray pickup, just Blu-ray movies in general, or just movies in general. These are kind of the more older, mature films that a lot of people my age just don't like or know about, and these are Criterion films, of course. And the thing about me is that I have equal amount of respect for the big blockbusters like Avengers as I do these Criterion films. And a lot of the times I like the Criterion films more, but most of the time, I anticipate the big blockbusters. Like, of course, Civil War is probably my number one anticipated movie for next year, not Star Wars Rogue One. It's obviously Civil War for me personally. But I still love these old films, and they're a huge part of cinema, and they're some of the best movies ever made. So I thought, since I only own 20, and I'm trying to always constantly get more of these for the right price, I thought I'd run you through my collection real quick. I haven't seen most of these, but they're like, if I get a deal, I'll pick it up. So the first one I own, I got for $20 at Costco. If you can find a Criterion in the $20 or less range, you are getting it for a better price that you would pay in Barnes & Noble, which is retail $40 on average, a normal Criterion costs. And then once or twice a year, they have this month sale where they're half off in Barnes for $20. Well, Costco, I saw these recently. This is one of my more recent pickups. I got this for $20, so I instantly bought it when I saw the Criterion logo and bought it because it was on sale for $20. Well, it wasn't on sale, it was just $20. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. Again, these are British films. Never seen them. This is one of the more famous ones. I got this for $20 too. A Night to Remember. Really cool art cover work. And all the Criterions, they come with nice booklets, and they come with all the special features. And they're usually like damaged films that they've been restored in some way. But I've got a couple modern ones, like a Wes Anderson film in here. This is why I bought Grand Budapest recently. I still have yet to watch it, but I watched the Criterion of Royal Tenenbaums. I love this movie. It's very artsy, it's very weird, but I loved it. And a lot of people say this is Anderson's best film, but I'm gonna definitely this movie made me want to watch his others. And he has a lot in Criterion right now, so. Stanley Kubrick's The Killing. Stanley Kubrick, pretty famous director. He's got some hits, he's got some misses. Clockwork Orange isn't exactly my favorite movie, but The Shining, I think, is one of the best movies ever made. So, this movie, the cover art intrigued me, the title intrigues me, and Stanley Kubrick, his movies are dark. And I want to see what he had to do with a bank robber movie, so definitely wanted to check that out. Friends of Eddie Coyle, this just looks like a more of a low budget mob movie, and I love mob films, and I want to see how this movie plays out. So I got the Friends of Eddie Coyle here. The Night of the Hunter. This is definitely, even though I haven't seen this movie, I'm so glad I got it, because, again, this was a more expensive Criterion. You wouldn't be able to tell looking at it, but it cost me a little bit more, and I hear this is a great film. I really do, so I was really happy I got this half off, like most of these. I only paid full price for one Criterion here. The Honeymoon Killers, again, it intrigued me by the title, so I picked it up. I got it for, like half off, so definitely wanted to pick that one up. Paths of Glory, this is, again, if you go on IMDb, you see this one in, like, the top 60 films of all time. It's another Kubrick movie. It's a war movie, and it's World War I with Kirk Douglas. So, that equals masterpiece right there alone. So, M, again, I have a friend who's very big on these foreign movies, just as much as I am. He, he's just like me in that sense, where we both like the big blockbusters. We both like foreign movies. And whenever he mentions a movie to me, I'm intrigued, if most of the time I've heard of it, and once in a while I'll throw a curveball and talk about a movie maybe he needs to watch by now, like Schindler's List. But M is a movie. It was in the top 250 list on IMDb. I was going to get eventually, but because my friend persuaded me to get it even more, because he loved this movie, and I believe this will probably be a great film. I have yet to watch it, but I had to pick it up, It was on my list. Thief, James Caan, Michael Mann. He's some sort of robber. That alone sounded interesting to me. So yeah, I picked it up. This is probably the best Criterion that I hear about. 12 Angry Men, this is a famous black and white movie. It's probably one of the better ones out there. If you're just going to go blindly and start into the Criterions, I'd recommend picking this one up first. Because everyone recommends it. I've yet to see it yet. I know, I saved this movie for a special occasion. The Seventh Seal I have watched, though. This is a foreign film, and I was really glad I bought it. Again, I got it on like a half-off sale, so... it happened one night. I got this on a half-off sale. It won Best Picture in the year it came out, which is 1934. Wow, this is pretty old. Before Gone with the Wind. It's a little... I mean, it's not overhyped, because the movie has no hype really now, but for its time, I see why it was a famous, great movie. I feel like it's definitely one of those movies that's aged a lot. But it's still a great movie, and it shows what Clark Gable had to offer. Rosemary's Baby, this is just a classic. This was one of those I've seen before, and I had to own on Criterion. This was one. I haven't watched it on Criterion yet, but I've seen it. It's a great film. It's not really... I mean, some people will argue it is a horror movie, and it kind of is. It's more or less a thriller to me, because nothing terrifying happens in the film, in my opinion. It's more of a thriller. Anatomy of Murder, Jimmy Stewart, court drama, it's going to be good. Originally, I thought this was a Hitchcock movie when I first heard about it. Apparently, I guess it's not. But, I was interested. Now, this is the only Criterion I regret buying, because this is the only one I bought for full price. I paid $40 for this one. I don't regret buying it, I just regret buying it for the price. Because this was one of the 4 Criterions at Costco for $20, but yet, probably a month before I had bought this, before I found it in Costco, and I paid $40 for it, so... My mistake. I really wanted this movie. It's one of Scorsese's favorites, and Scorsese is my personal favorite director of all time. He's got a couple misses, but I really wanted to see it, and I have yet to see it yet. Persona, Ingmar Bergman, just based on the 2 films I own by him alone, this is definitely my favorite foreign director. Now, I have not seen a lot of foreign directors, but I can name some off the top of my head, and by far Bergman takes the cake for me. He's dark, but his movies have been good. On the Waterfront, again, yet to see it. I really wanted to watch it. It's a pretty well-known movie. And lastly, Seven Samurai. And that's all of them, guys. Again, this is a classic, too. I've yet to see it. Kurosawa, blah, 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 blah. Again, none of these, for the most part, I went into most of these, not seeing them yet, but the ones I have watched were blind buys, other than, Rosemary's Baby. I've seen Rosemary's Baby before I bought it on Criterion, but, what are the ones I have watched? Rosemary's Baby, the ones before this I had not known about. I watched The Seventh Seal. I watched it happen one night. Great pickups. I really am in the mood for these, but I have to watch a different film tonight. I probably watch a movie a night. It's just I rewatch a lot of movies that I bought on Blu-ray, but I've seen before, but I've never watched them on Blu-ray because I pick them up. Again, most of these I just have the pleasure of waiting to watch. I watched this one first time, blind buy. I was so glad I bought that one. Just the rest of these I've not seen yet. But, they're Criterions. if worst comes to worst, I pay $20 for a Criterion. It's going to look nice on my shelf, and it's just going to sit there. But I guarantee you most of these will be great. And go online. Go do what I do. I go on YouTube. I look at reviews. But I hope you guys enjoyed my Criterion collection. And I love Criterions. I need to be known about to more people. Thanks for watching, guys. And next video will be a review video.